I'm sure in the past couple of months, we've all came across the Democratic debates where Democratic candidates like Elizabeth Warren have proposed a wealth tax in order to decrease the income inequality in the nation. Hello, my name is Mark Pena. I'm a fourth-year student here at Cal State Long Beach, and I'm studying economics. Within economics, we focus on questions such as the unequal distribution of wealth and finding an efficient solution to fix this problem. And it's important for us to speak about this today because I'm sure like everyone viewing this video as well as myself, we've all been through a financial hardship at one point or another. With talks of a wealth tax, it could possibly improve our financial well-being as well as put us on an even playing field between the richest Americans and us hardworking individuals. Although the wealth tax sounds like a great solution to this problem, it could actually produce unintended consequences that could eventually harm us. So first, I would like to speak on the severity of the income distribution gap. The NPR article published in December 9, 2019 claimed that the top 1% nearly owned 1/4 of all U.S. household household wealth 30 years ago, and now owns nearly 1/3. Meanwhile, the bottom 50% of people have gone from 3.7% of the wealth in 1989 to 1.9% today. To put this statistic in perspective, there's about 300 million people in America today. Out of those 300 million, 3 million own about more than 30%, while 150 million people own less than 2% of the wealth, which doesn't make sense. Yet America is called the land of opportunities. And one of the main causes of this is our current tax system. According to the New York Times 2019 article, Raising Billions from Billionaires, stated that the 400 richest families in America paid 23% in taxes last year. While on average, your average US citizen pays close to 40% in taxes, which is an unfair advantage that most of these richer Americans have. So a regressive tax rate gives that unfair advantage to the richer Americans while they tax the life out of individuals that are just trying to make ends meet. This brings me to my next point, which is the proposal of a wealth tax to solve the gap in income distribution. According to Senator Warren's wealth tax plan, millionaires whose net worth is above 50% will pay 2% tax each year and 3% for individuals whose net worth is above $1 billion. With a progressive tax rate, it will increment the amount of wealth that could be redistributed to low-income communities. And as well, it will ensure that higher earners pay their fair share of taxes. According to the Mises Institute October 19, 2019 article, claimed that Elizabeth Warren's tax plan estimated that it could create a new tax revenue of $2.75 trillion, which will be put towards new government programs like student loan forgiveness, universal child care, and other programs. This hopefully can stimulate the creation of wealth in low-income communities and as well bridge the gap between the unequal distribution of wealth. However, these wealth taxes have been tried in other countries and haven't worked. That same Mises Institute article of October 19, 2009, claimed that in the 1990s, 12 European countries imposed this wealth tax on its citizens. However, in current times, only 3 of those 12 countries actually kept the wealth tax, which was Norway, Spain, and Switzerland. And the reason being is because it had unintended consequences. And one of those unintended consequences was that it led to the exodus of 42,000 millionaires in just the country of France. So it led some of the biggest economic producers in the economy to flee, which led to a decrease in the growth of France's economy. So this not only affected just jobs in general, but it also affected the tax revenue that was already in place. And neighboring nations who seen this opportunity then offered these fleeing millionaires a residency as well as lower tax rates to stimulate their own economy. This led to domestic businesses leaving, which led to loss of jobs and less tax revenue that is created from both of these areas. Furthermore, it decreased the creation of foreign investment. So, furthermore, it decreased the new creation of businesses as well as new businesses as well as other ways of taxable revenue. Like Andrew Yang stated in the Democratic debates, if we can't learn from the failed experiences of other countries, what can we learn from? So how can we address this income distribution issue? We need to create a tax system in which the economic actors, such as the industrialists, have an incentive to expand their investment while creating a revenue to help these low-income communities. And an article published by CNN in November 20th of 2019 proposed a wealth tax. It proposed instead of a wealth tax, a consumption tax, in addition to our current tax system. This tax system would work in two ways. It would provide lower taxation on individuals who reinvest their earnings. So essentially it would help the creation of new businesses, new jobs, and new tax revenue from both of these compartments, which would help the economic growth of our nation. As well, it would also the consumption tax would be based off the goods that the rich would consume, such as private jets, expensive houses. For example, the luxury home that Bill Gates just recently bought for $147 million would actually be subject to taxation in this situation. So instead of a wealth tax, a consumption tax will incentivize foreign investors to want to invest in the domestic markets because of lower taxes. Because of this, we could create new tax revenues as well as increase our economic growth. Now that I propose an alternative solution to the gap in income distribution, hopefully my audience understands the complexity and the sensitivity of imposing taxes based on class. We need a tax system in which the government incentivizes the economic actors like industrialists to continue their behaviors while creating a tax revenue to close the income distribution gap. Once we implement such system, we can appropriately solve the gap the gap of income distribution and keep the entrepreneur spirit in which our nation is predicated upon. Thank you.